There's two ways to look at everything in life. And I'm in all four directions. I'm not one directional. All four, which means I know the beginning, the present, and the end of all outcomes. And I know what it's going to take to get to that outcome. So, we'll talk about the drug addiction real quick. You can look at that two ways. You can look at that as the way most normal people would, which would be that it's a bad thing. It destroyed their life. Well, what happens when you look at it the right way, which is that it saved a life? Yes, it caused destruction. It circled destruction. But it circled destruction because other people failed me, not because I failed myself, because people are judgmental. Now, what about the times when I wasn't on drugs and bad things happened to me? We can't blame that on the drugs or the fact that, I'm taking prescription medication. Yeah, I may not be taking right, but who does? And that doesn't give you the right to determine someone else's life because of something they do. If it ain't hurting nobody, it may be hurting themselves. If it ain't bothering, you ain't got no right. But people are so judgmental. But what about all the times I wanted to kill myself and I had the drugs? Thank God I had them, because I wouldn't be alive today without them. Yeah, it might have caused me a lot of shit, but it also caused me a lot of life too. Because if I hadn't had no drugs, I'd have took a fucking 6 revolver and blasted that fucking shit out a long time ago. And people need to realize that before they go to judging somebody. Now, when all the shit clears up and, I ain't around people that are treating me bad and whatever, life on life's terms shit too, but I've had more tragedies than most. I ain't walking around here acting like no victim. I'm tough as fucking nails, I'm the king. But, thank God those days I had a couple pain pills. Thank God those couple days I could smoke a joint. Because before that point happened, I was damn sure wanting to blow my fucking brains out. Now, you remove the bullshit and the mistreatment and the abuse out of my life, the drugs disappear. Ain't that something? But there's still one thing that's got me fucked up. And I'm going to have to admit it right now. It's my fault I lost you. I gave you away. And you know what? You deserve better then. You deserve better now. And I'll admit that. Yeah, I want it to be me. Yeah, I love you more than anything. And I can say that much. But, even at a Class A fucking $1 million shop and Lamborghinis everywhere, I still would tell you that I ain't what you deserve better. And everybody's fucked up. It's where you're fucked up at. Yeah, I might have been a drug addict, but what about you when you beat your kid's ass? Or you when you go cheat on your wife? What about the shit y'all do? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But let's judge this one thing, and let's determine that this motherfucker ain't no count because he takes pain pills every day because he's in pain. Because something fucking broke his heart. And I'm not talking about you, Sky. You didn't break my heart. It happened long before you, honey. You gave me some fucking love. You know what I mean? But there's two ways to look at that, too. Now, I remember after 3.5 years, this girl named Nia come up behind me with my shirt off and laid her head on my back. And she said, "You're everything I want, but I know that you love somebody else." You know why? Because it'd been so long that I've been a soldier. When that touched me, I started crying. I couldn't handle it. Because of no love happening to that motherfucker. Now, that ain't just a chemical reaction between two people in a metaphysical body. That is a fucking emotional catastrophe. When something's been without love so long that something lays its head on its back and it starts crying. You know what I mean? But let's judge this motherfucker and let's ruin his life and let's put him in jail and let's fuck him all up because he's the only one that does love, because he loves. You can look at that as that motherfucker as nothing. But if you really look at it, that motherfucker's sitting Indian style in the corner crying. You know what I mean? What the fuck's really going on? It ain't the drugs. Something else is fucking going on. The motherfuckers want to judge. But it's real funny when you remove the bullshit, Sky. And, I got my shop and I got shut. It's funny how those drugs disappear too. And, honey, I ain't preaching to you, honey. I'm preaching about the shit that happened before you and during you and after you. You were the best thing that ever happened to me. And I mean that, Sky. Like, honey, I remember when the drugs weren't enough. I remember with even the drugs still wanting to die. And I remember laying my head on that steering wheel and that little bit of light from you. And I was like, I'm going to keep going for her. You know what I mean? That's what saved my life. And I just want you to realize that, Sky. And yeah, don't nobody want to admit that they ain't good enough for their girl. Don't nobody want to admit that they're the reason that they're gone. Don't nobody. And you know, but not once during the whole time have I said it's because of somebody else. I've always said it's because of me that I lost you. But if you want to really look at it, it's because of everything else. It wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? And it wasn't you either. I'm talking about the fucked up people that fucking mistreated me for no reason. And that brought me to my next point. I've been sick for 3 days on that couch. Oh, the fuck I ate, but it was bad. But listen, it's not that I didn't love myself. It's not that I don't love myself. I love myself, and I treat myself like a king. And, you know, the biggest thing I got going on is I ain't got my queen. That's the only thing I got going on. The rest of it's worked out. You know what I mean? But it was never me that didn't love myself. That's not what caused that. It's because other people didn't fucking love me. And I don't know why. I'm nice. I'm fucking a great worker. I'm a good looking guy. And I love everybody. And I treat everybody with a different kind of love than other people treat. It's because the world's fucking evil. Okay? And it was evil to me. But there is good in evil, and there is evil in good. I love you. I gotta go.